All right, Shalom Akyam. We would like to start off by giving our honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Kakudash, the honor to our apostles, great millstone, well. Peace and blessed house of the elect. I'm Zahabin to my left.
Ayashama.
All right.
And we're going to a lesson, about withdrawing yourself, because this American lifestyle, this American culture, is all about go, 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 go. You never really get the time to sit down and assess things in the spirit, and it's easy to get caught up in, man, because you got, all these different social media platforms, especially if you live in these big cities, there's always something going on, clubs open every night, bars open every night, scripts, different things going on, and it's easy to be on the scene all the time, but sometimes, in the spirit, it's good that we withdraw ourselves, from the scene and just kind of analyze, man, even with these, these social media, platforms, man, because really each platform is like another realm within itself, and you can find yourself existing, within 3 or 4 or 5 different realms. You'll be spread too thin. You see, you got this going on Facebook, you got all this going on Tag, you got this going on Instagram, this going on TikTok. You can be on the scene too hard, and it will be good in the spirit, if we, from time to time, just kind of withdrew ourselves and took a true assessment, of who we are, man, in the spirit. You see, so I get that account in Luke. You can get that Luke.
The account of Luke.
Yeah, get that. Luke 4 and start at 16. Fine. I just had. I think it's the book of Luke.
And while you're looking for that, I just get a quick precept.
5:16.
Luke 5 and 16?
Yeah. Starting like 14, maybe.
All right, Luke 5 and 14.
Yep.
And he charged him to tell no man.
Started
13?
Yeah.
Luke 5 and 13. And he put forth his hand and touched him, saying, I will be thou clean. And immediately the leprosy departed from him. And he charged him to tell no man, but go and show thyself to the priest and offer for thy cleansing, according as Moses commanded, for a testimony unto them.
So Yahweh Shai had just performed a miracle, and all right, that him doing those things drew a lot of attention to himself, as he's going to go into it. Go ahead.
But so much the more went there a fame abroad of him, and great multitudes came together to hear and to be healed by him of their infirmities.
Yep, say great multitudes came, to hear and be healed, their infirmities. You see, because that fame had went abroad. So they were really trying to press, on Yahweh Shai. Go ahead.
And he withdrew himself into the wilderness and prayed.
Yeah, so he had to withdraw himself from the scene, man. You see, Yahweh Shai, hey, he could have been the biggest rock star, on the planet, man. If there was, he was driven by the flesh, man, but he knew, all right, how the flesh would be roused up, man. The scripture tell you that the flesh is weak, but the spirit, is willing, and fame and attention and, getting on the scene all the time and, getting, the attention from the women, too much attention, they can, it can distract you, man. It kind of distort, all right, who you are in the spirit. If you're getting too much of it, man, too much of anything can, really, destroy you, man. Too much praise. I know Apostle Gabar said that, you can't just get all praise, man. Sometimes you gotta get chastised. It might not be, amongst the body, but in your life you get chastised somewhere, and that keeps you balanced, man. So you don't get too proud, or you don't get caught up, in this inflated ego, man. You see? You got that, bro? The assessment.
Yeah, this is the Merriam's Dictionary of the word assessment.
Yep.
All right, it says, first definition, the action or instance of making a judgment about something.
Mm-hmm.
The act of assessing something, appraisal.
Yep. Hey, because you really can't judge yourself. You know, you can't get a good judgment of yourself if you always in the mix of something. You know, if you got so much going on, you know, you stretched thin, you know, doing all these different things, man, you always on the scene. You know, sometimes you got to withdraw yourself, man. You know, even when different channels, you know, brother channels get cut, really it's the Most High, you know, he be withdrawing you, man. You know, you might have so many subscribers and so many followers, you know, and sometimes Yahweh Shai just withdraw you, you know, so you can really assess yourself, man. Making sure your integrity is still there, man. Making sure you're not just doing it, you know, just to get a reaction, man. You know, or just to be on the scene. You're not going live just to be on the scene, but you're going live to edify. You know, would you still be that same type of teacher if he took the platform away? You know, so that's a lot of times what happened. You know, when you brother channels get taken down or whatever, you know, you gotta look at everything in the spirit. You know, and you gotta really, you know, assess yourself, you know, while you're not on the scene is tough, man. While you're not being seen as much, man. That's when you really can assess yourself, man. You know? Go ahead.
Had another definition.
You got it, bro.
This is the word introspection. This is befitting of this lesson. It says introspection. It says contemplation of one's own thoughts,
yep,
feelings, and sensations. Self-examination.
Yep, self-examination. You know, and that's a major thing, especially, you know, coming to the time, you know, that we're coming into, man. You know, and the scripture tell you what, count the cost, man. You know, hey, because being in all these different virtual realities, because when you know, in all this social media, you're really plugged into virtual reality. Because those people are not who they say they are. All right, you really don't know them; they don't know you, but y'all come in and back and forth, and you know it's really a virtual reality. People live a false reality on them. You know,
Jay really be out here struggling.
Yeah,
you know, Jay. You know the Jay out here financially struggling, but he a big dog on social media, and a female. You know, she ain't on too of a high platform herself, but you have the ability to fabricate your own existence on social media, man. You know,
it's a virtual reality. You know.
There's some more to the definition. It says introspection, contemplation of your own thoughts and desires and conducts, contemplation, examination. So synonyms: musing, reflecting, reflection, rumination, thoughtfulness, contemplation, reflection, a calm, blending, intent, consideration.
Yep, intent, consideration, man. That's why it's good to get away from those things, man. Sometimes, you know, lately, you know, I find myself, you know, just trying to be away from the phone, outside doing lessons, you know, and watching and keeping up with the news, going into articles and, you know, sending, you know, myself videos for lesson later on. But other than that, you know, I try to find myself, you know, just withdrawing, you know, from the phone, you know, from the web, you know, and just existing in nature, man, you know, because we don't do that anymore. Like people don't, you know, just exist. You know, people always, you know, you can find yourself checking your phone too much, you know, trying to see, you know, the reaction that you done got, you know, and we're honest, man. You got to be honest in the flesh, man. We all, you know, guilty of those things, man.
Because part of the flesh is to be admired.
Yep.
And appreciated, but there's a balance to everything.
And gratification.
Instant gratification.
Yep. I got one for you, bro.
Good con.
Yeah. This is Philippians chapter 2. All right. And verse I started at 2. He said, fulfill ye my joy, that ye be like-minded, having the same love, being of one accord, of one mind. Let nothing be done through strife or vainglory.
You see, but this is the vainglory generation. All right, your online profile, that's vainglory. Like if you're online, all right, if you're not trying to build a business or things of that nature, like what are you doing? You're for vainglory, and sometimes you can be tempted to bring the same imagery to this gospel, man. You know, brothers have channels, all right, and you'll forget that your channel is for edification. Or you'll be mad because you got 10 views, 5 views. All right, but you'll forget that all you need to do is edify one elect. You know, you have a brother, he'll tell you years down the road, then man, I was watching your videos. But during that time he was watching, you might be like, damn, I got 20 views, 10 views. But you real life built up a brother in the spirit.
You made somebody profitable for the kingdom to come.
You know, scripture says folly is set in great dignity. You even have a twerk video out, or it be some dumb TikTok video, and they have 1 million views. And they have 1 million followers, 1 million subscribers.
Yep.
And it's just comedy.
What's the little chick with the OnlyFans became a millionaire like 6 hours?
I can't remember her name.
Bad some shit.
Yeah.
You know.
Bad Bunny or something.
Yeah, Bad Bunny
whatever.
Some shit, you know. Became a millionaire in 6 hours, man, which, you know, number 6, and I'm telling what's up with that shit. But at the end of the day, that's folly though. Yep. But she could do nothing, all right, towards raising the household. Yep. And see, these people really have a one lifetime. That YOLO spirit, that's a one lifetime doctrine. Yep. Like that, you can't. You are preparing nothing for the generation after, man.
And it's heavy that you said that, because the first definition, the first word we looked up was assessment, right? And it says the act or instance of making a judgment about something, the act of assessing.
Yep.
So assessing is kind of like estimating the worth of something. All right. So what the online does, social media does, it creates a false assessment of someone's worth.
Yep.
Like you just went into you went into that woman who became a millionaire of fans only.
Yep.
But only thing they're doing is repackaging prostitution.
Yep.
There's no such thing as really a bad bitch.
Yep.
Because in a man's life, in your real life, you really just want a good woman. Like you said, what worth can she bring to your world?
Yeah, because she's a millionaire. But if you have an establishment, she can do nothing to forge your establishment. She couldn't, raise children. All right. She doesn't know how to order a house. She doesn't know anything about the earth.
Yep.
All right. But here in this society, like you said, her value is in the millions, man. Because of what, man? Some curves, which that's vain. Women are born with it. All right. You learn attributes, man.
Yep.
Yep. How can you be that? How can something you born with be that valuable, but you can't produce nothing, man?
That's why we're under the Ishtar ceramicist vibration, the worship of the vagina.
Yep.
You're worshiping your female counterpart.
Yep.
That's your tribal sister. What made her so,
Yep.
2 X chromosomes and you worship her.
Yep. I got that word vainglory in the Greek.
Okay.
It's
Strong's G 2754. Canadoxia.
It says groundless, all right, self-esteem, empty pride.
Then it said groundless.
Groundless.
Like, what are you rooted in? What's your base? What's your foundation? Then it said empty pride. It's empty pride because when it's a woman because she's pretty, that's empty pride. This generation suffers something called hubris. Hubris goes back to unjustifiable or unreasonable pride. And I'm gonna look that word up to make sure I'm accurate. But
I got that word groundless too.
Okay, con.
It's this groundless in Google. It says not based on any good reason.
Not based on any good reason. Like, yeah, have you noticed that all the Israelites is praised in this society? They're praised for being athletes or basically entertainers, or the Israelite woman is praised for having a vagina. But how has that forwarded our nation in this country?
How many niggas you killed?
How many niggas you killed? But Jake is actually productive. They virtually don't exist in this society. Dr. Sebi came and went. That's just an example of somebody that's actually an asset to their race. All right?
Yeah, the average working man, is it really invisible?
Yep.
Well, degenerate, is glorified in this society. Hey, because if you look at it, all right, if you took away, Cardi B and every woman that acted like her, you took that from society wouldn't be affected. But you take away all the garbage men from society.
Yep.
All right. You take away all the construction workers from the society. All right. You take away every farmer from the society. You see? Yeah, it'd be devastation. And that's why Esau was attacking the farmers, because, that he knows that's going to bring on, a famine, man, that he's going to
Mhm.
use to forward, his wicked agenda. But just making a point, if you took away the Cardi B's and the Megan Thee Stallion, whatever they do, the degenerate rappers, even the sports, if you took, even when sports was gone, the earth didn't stop.
And it's funny though. If you take all that away, the earth would be better.
Yep.
The earth would be better. You take away the 21 Savages, the Cardi B's,
Yep.
the earth would be better.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
I just want to get the quick definition of hubris. Overbearing pride. Well, this is for hubris. Free dictionary. Overbearing pride or presumption. Arrogance, haughtiness, hauteur, high-handedness, lordliness, overbearing pride evidenced by superior manner towards inferiors. But yeah, it's like unjustifiable. Yeah, it says, this is the Merriam's definition of hubris. It says exaggerated pride or self-confidence.
Yep. Exaggerated pride, with self-confidence, man. Hey, because a woman has this confidence, and if the nigga woman thinks that she's a true goddess, like she's a true entity. The way she move, when a nigga think he's invincible, a nigga think he can be disrespectful as he want to be, and nothing gonna happen to him.
Yep.
A nigga woman thinks that she this self-existent, goddess in the earth. That's an exaggerated, pride, man. But see, Yahweh Shema Shai, that's why he's going to collapse this grid, because the reason why you have hubris people is because this is a first world country that has abundance. Because a woman's livelihood doesn't depend on the strength and the the craftiness of her husband, man, the ingenuity of her husband. Why? It's a grid she can depend on. Niggas cannot have responsibility because it's a grid they depend on.
You got a lot of niggas that they just their livelihood comes from women. You could be a nigga and still survive off somebody else's baby mama.
Yep.
She living off the government and you living off her.
Yep.
This
is on Sirach 10 and 9. It said, why is the earth and ashes proud?
Yep.
There is not a more wicked thing than the covetous man. For such as one setteth his own soul to sell, because while he liveth, he cast away his bow. But the main thing is why, is earth and ashes proud. Going back to that groundless, groundless, glory, man. Your glory is based on nothing.
Like Jake be overexcited because their home team won a game.
Yeah.
That's not, y'all didn't actually win territory.
Yeah.
Jake rapping. Jake be rapping, then they develop this persona about themselves and his arrogance. I mean, this is hubris.
Yeah. Over-exaggerated.
Because
them niggas, like I say, all these niggas that's exalted, will benefit nothing outside the grid, man.
If you take the whole nation of Israel, starting with the Southern Kingdom, out of America, and Jake had to rebuild from the planet Earth, how will we make it? Because the Most High set up the earth like a toolbox. The toolbox is here, but you gotta have skills to use the toolbox. So the Most High gave you trees to build houses. He gave you the earth to grow food. He gave you certain metals to make into tools. What can a nigga in Keisha put together to build, man? And we'll see how long that this imperious mindset lasts with Eve. The imperious, I'm over you niggas mindset. We'll see how being a real nigga or a killer is beneficial when you're trying to build a nation. Now it's about multiplying.
Yeah. So you can't kill your engineer because y'all had an argument at the gas station.
Right.
You can't kill your engineer, your farmer.
No.
Your physician. You done killed them because y'all had an argument.
Or you lose value with him because like you're a woman. Fuck that nigga, I just put him on child support. You can't pull that on him now.
This is the brother walk circumspectly 144. It says Lamentation 4:2 said the precious sons of Zion, comparable to fine gold, how are they esteemed as earthen pitchers, the work of the hands of the potter. And because going back to the ancient world, the men of Israel, very valuable to the earth. Like when King David, came into power, just giving an example, man, you had different heathen kings that were praising King David because he was putting down, wicked heathens, that was terrorizing the earth, man. And then in the times of Solomon, man, it said the earth was filled with his parables. This is one Israelite man. You see, and then the wise men Solomon had around, like that kingdom benefited the earth. You see, showing you the value of Israelite men. But now, what do you have, man? Earthen pictures, man. And Jake glory in the worst, from being from the worst conditions. Jake glory in it.
From being from an impoverished neighborhood.
Yeah. We the murder capital. You ain't heard, that crazy shit.
Jake actually committed murders just to be back on the murder, just to be back. The city could be on top as the murder capital, And it just hit me like the scriptures dedicated a whole book to the Levites because when it comes to building a nation, you always had the farmers, the carpenters, the blacksmiths. But going back to Sirach 38, it says, without these should not a nation be desired, but they would not sit in the seat of counsel. Because above the workers, then you had the men of counsel, but above them you had like the priests.
Yep.
So if you have a nation and you're a king or a ruler, you need priests that's directly connected to the Most High. That's what secures your nation. When you have priests that's directly connected to the Most High, it's the higher nation is going to be run. Now, what do we have now? Preachers?
And they tell you get the jab.
Tell you to get the jab, man. That's why Jake is through, because like if the head is sick, the body is destroyed. See, the whole head is the leadership is compromised. Go
back to Philippians chapter 2. All right. Verse 3 said, "Let nothing be done through strife or vainglory."
We do this we are workers for Yahweh Shai, under Yahweh. All right. It's not about us, man. All right.
And it said, "But in lowliness of mind, let each esteem other better than themselves."
Hey, and that's a system. That's a system. If you have a circle of men, and a circle is consisting of 100 men, so that big of a circle. But if every man looks after the needs of the man on the left of him, that pattern is gonna come back to you, and the man on the right of you is gonna look after the needs of you. So that's a system of Yahweh Shema Shai that makes us nation-minded. See, in America, you're just looking at the self. But in our homeland, Jerusalem, in the body of Yahweh Shema Shai, you're looking after the next man.
And that's why it's good to withdraw yourself, because within all these different social media platforms, you're looking and reading all these different ideas, these vain ideas and memes and shit that don't mean nothing.
And it makes you self-absorbed.
Yep. You gotta withdraw from this. Sometimes you gotta withdraw from this, fall back from this shit. And
through a process of self-reflecting, you'll realize, like, damn, I used to look up scriptures and words and articles. Now I'm just looking up senseless memes on social media. And like, which one is gonna build you? Because half of the stuff you look at on social media, you're gonna forget the next day.
And you can't apply it.
You can't apply it.
And it says, I say, look not every man on his own things, but every man also on the things of others. And that's another thing with black culture is, they wait. Like Jake, that is a leader. Everybody really waiting on them to fall so they can ride them.
Yeah.
Jake, it ain't no thing of, let's say a Jake get into a position, then everybody get behind him, and be with him. Like when David became king, all the tribes were like, we with you. You the guy. It wasn't, nigga in the cut, saying, I really was supposed to be, talking about David past, something embarrassing, trying to bring out, man.
And Jake only does that with other Israelites.
Yeah. Jump to 7. It said, but made himself of no reputation and took upon him the form of a servant and was made in the likeness of men.
And somebody realized, it said, made himself of no reputation. And there's a benefit to being private, man. There's a benefit of nobody really knowing what you got going on. Like the brothers know who you are. The brothers that are around you personally, they know you. People in your life, they know you. But there's a benefit for where the outside world doesn't know what you got going on in your life, man. There's a benefit to being virtually invisible, man. There's a benefit to that, man.
Hey, because like the end of the day, because see, niggas is all people doing are getting, ammunition most of the time. When you around people like that, you letting them in. All they doing is when y'all fall out, because Jake be storing that shit. Jake can store that shit, or you leave a paper trail, on your Facebook, and you left a timeline with all this madness on there. Jake waiting the last shot on your ass, man. What Jake do? Jake got a great memory when it comes to every flaw you got or every mistake you made. Jake remember that shit just in case y'all do fall out.
And Jake is a real crab in a bucket.
Yep.
Jake really hate on you in the back of his mind.
Yep.
Because why do they hate on you? Because they all think they're supposed to be number one. So when you have these little feats in the world and you project it, you should know Jake in his mind. Jake will call you proud, but Jake proud. And that's online. That's at work. It's actually a blessing if your job consists of not being around niggas, man. Because it takes a certain type of spirit to deal with them spirits, man.
Yeah, it's good for your spirit. When you can be, away from people like that, especially in the times we're in, man. Because like we understand, man, these people, got so many enchantments on them now. You see, that's the thing about this ministry. I'm gonna get there real quick. Because like we said before, like this ain't the eternity how we gotta live. It's just now. We gotta be a certain way for now to get to the eternal kingdom.
And some brothers, they getting caught up into that worldly bullshit because they're not fully engulfed in this. See, the more you're around brothers and the more you do videos with brothers, the more you in tune with the word, you remember your purpose. You remember, and it gives you the energy to keep fighting for the big picture. But when you lose that part of yourself and you give yourself over to the flesh, you forget why you're in the truth. You forget why you're doing this, man. That's why you start giving yourself over to your flesh, man. All right?
Trying to find real quick. One in Ephesians, I want to say.
Yeah, there's not a problem. We're going to close it after that. How does it go?
Talk about having a quiet.
Live a quiet life, minding your own business, something like that.
Yeah.
Quiet, peaceful life.
Yeah, Thessalonians. Here we go. Thessalonians. All right. This is on 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, all right, verse 11. And that ye study to be quiet and to do your own business and to work with your own hands as we commanded you. Now I want to get that word quiet, in the Greek. All right. Get that word quiet. All right. The Greek word is
Strong's G 2270. Hesuchazo.
Hesuchazo. All right. And it says to lead a quiet life, said of those who are not running hither and thither, but stay at home and mind their business.
And they're running hither and thither. It's not only physically and literally, but it's also in the cyberspace and the internet. Being on these different accounts is also hither and thither because we're basically in the future right now. So this is like Back to the Future. This is the advanced version of that. But it's actually a peace of mind when you unplug from those different spaces, man. You have to recharge, right?
Just deal with reality, man. Because the way we exist, people exist. That's why people, are such delusional. Like people are delusional. Like we always reference back to Kevin Samuel, but it's amazing to see how delusional people are. Like you like, damn, where she been? You see how she talk. Where the hell she been? You see, she been on these all these platforms where she's getting praised. That creates a false reality, man.
And Jake, they be simping on those platforms.
Yep.
You got something called a 49er. A woman from 1 through a 10, she's a 4, but she thinks she's a 9. Where did that delusion come from? Because she know how to take those certain pictures of herself, and Jake be thirsting after that. Where did the illusion of Jake think he's some celebrity come from? Online.
Jake get them taxes, you know, make the money, cell phone, some dumb shit.
And really that comes from that grievous wound of slavery because you want to be somebody. You know? All right, with that, I hope you brothers and sisters were edified. Once again, we want to give our honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem, Kakodash, Double honor to our apostles, great millstone, well, peace and blessing, house David the elect, a Father Baal, come out Shalom, Shalom, the water for tuning in.